everybody, welcome back for another episode of Mavis and Me. And today she knows we're doing something fun because I've got the clicker and she can smell the treats in my other hand, and she's just wondering what it is she has to do to get those treats. Today we're going to work on a new trick. I'm going to capture putting her head down. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to ignore her for a little while until she loses interest in what I'm doing. And I'm hoping that as she gets bored, she'll put her head down, and then I will click and capture that behavior. And then hopefully get it to repeat frequently. She's pretty smart, so I think she'll catch on really fast. So the difference between capturing and normal types of clicker training, you can use lures to encourage the dog to do something. Say I wanted her to go around in a circle, I could just use a treat and get her to kind of follow the treat around in a circle and click and give her the treat, and that would be alluring. But if I'm going to capture something, capturing is when you just let the dog do its normal behavior and you just capture it when it happens, like you're taking a picture of the actual trick or behavior that you're wanting. So let's turn to her now and see if we can capture put your head down. Now, of course, she's not laying down yet, and you can kind of push this along a little bit by like asking your dog to lay down, and I may do that, but first I just want to see if she'll just naturally do it. She kind of already did a bunch of stuff when I started this video. She was kind of testing to see if I would, work with her, but I was dealing with you guys, so I didn't have a chance yet. Anyway, don't touch the camera. You're gonna be over here where people can see you. Down. Good girl. So now I just ignore her. See if eventually she'll get bored and she'll stick her chin down on the floor. No. She's wondering now, what was that for? What did I do right? So I just watch her and wait, see if she'll do it again. She'll usually try to throw some sort of behavior. That was more in my lap. I'm trying to see out of the corner of my eye. I'm kind of trying to watch her in the video, but that doesn't work. I know, it's very confusing. Good girl. Now your butt's in the camera. That doesn't work so good. Nobody wants to see your butt. So she's pushing me with her nose. She's offering different behaviors that she knows she's been rewarded for before. And now she's pretty much given up. So she'll re-engage here in a second. This is kind of, when you're capturing, you just kind of let the dog do what it's going to do and capture the behavior that you want when it is given to you. Some dogs, you just have to catch it when they're not looking. When they're not thinking about it and they just happen to do what you want them to do. Say like a little puppy that you want to sit, you just kind of sit there and stare at it until it finally plops its butt down, click, give it the treat, and then they start realizing that it's the sitting that's getting them the treat. Once a dog learns this idea that you're going to capture things, it's a little harder to get them to like relax because you're so gross. They're so focused on like throwing things at you, like was it this, could it be this, maybe this, how about this, that it's hard to get them to just relax and just give up and kind of just like, okay, how about I just lay down, or how about I just sit, or how about I just go touch that object, or whatever. Anyway, so let's see what she'll do. I'm gonna put her in a position that I'm more likely to capture this trick. Right here. Down. Stay. Good girl. Off. Good. Nope. Off. Stay. Good girl. Nope. She's very confused. So when I'm telling her nope, you notice she's not upset about it. She's not offended that I'm saying nope to her. I'm not telling her she's a bad dog. I'm just saying that's not what I want. So when she does her little like boof at me and I go, nope, I'm just saying that's not it. Don't keep doing that. I'm not going to reward you for that. And when she's trying to crawl in my lap, it's because she's trying to do like a DPT. Usually when I'm sitting on the floor, she's thinking DPT is what we're after, a deep pressure therapy. And so she's trying to get in my lap to, you know, well, to like call me maybe, or probably right now just to get that treat. She thinks that's maybe what I'm after. You hear the whining? She's whining because she's anxious. She has some anxiety because she doesn't know what I want. She knows that the potential is there to be fed, but she can't figure out what it is that I want. So really what I'm after is just for her to finally get bored enough to just plunk that head down. What I'm more likely to get here is her putting her head on my lap, and I don't really want that either. These are very cute. So what she actually did is she's touching me. She's pushing me with her nose. She's really trying to figure out what it is I want. She just pushed me again with her nose. That's not what I'm after, but it is down on the floor area. So maybe if... Yeah, that's right. That's what I want, but on the floor, not in my lap. Nope. Down. Stay. Nope. Stay. She's getting it that it has something to do with the floor, but she thinks it's just sniffing at the floor. Good girl. I'm gonna run out of treats quickly here. Good girl. She's trying so hard, she doesn't understand what it is that I want. Now by holding my hand up, I get her to actually move her head a bigger movement from the up high. I can see that if she's understanding that it has to do with her putting her head down. That's what I want to see. I'm trying to encourage her by holding the treat up high. I'm asking, you understand? You see what I mean? She's starting to understand it has something to do with the floor. I was a little late on the click there. Good girl. You see how she's doing this? She's figuring it out. She doesn't quite understand it. A little too excited to actually have like a relaxed head down, but she does understand that I want her nose on the floor. That's basically what I'm after here. And this is a good first session. This is something that I could probably capture easier if we were just sitting in the living room being calm. Here, switch it. By moving her around a little bit, it kind of starts the learning over again. See? Good. Yes, good girl. Hang on. So you see that there's definitely a learning curve here. Easy. Good girl. Now I could lure this and it would work. Easy, slow down. You're just getting a little spastic. Down. See? Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. I'm almost done. Then we'll be done with this session. Almost got half a treat here. Back, 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 back. Down. Last one. Yes, good girl. All done. All done. You're such a good baby. So that's basically the idea behind capturing when you're clicker training. This is something that if I worked on a little more when she was calm and not quite so focused on, give me that treat, what do I got to do to get that treat? Usually I train this trick, the head down trick, when I'm sitting at the computer and the dog's just sitting on the floor next to me and they're bored and their eyes are kind of closed and they get to where they put their head down, I click and they're like, what? And they get a treat. And they catch on usually really quick. A lot of times, 3-4 times and they've got it. They understand, oh, that head goes down, I get a treat. Then what you do is you'll work on duration, where when the dog puts his head down, you hold that treat and you wait just a split second, then you click and give the treat. And you keep increasing the time from a split second to a half a second to 3/4 of a second to a second to 2 seconds to 5 seconds until you got that dog just keeping its head down watching you, waiting for the release of the click so that it can get its reward, its treat. One more thing that I need to mention is putting a cue to the behavior. Now, a cue is simply a word that tells the dog what to do. So the word sit would be your cue that tells the dog it needs to put its butt on the floor in order to receive a reward of praise, food, whatever. Okay, so we all understand what a cue is. So let's say we want to call putting your head down, and let's say we'll call it, the cue would be sleep. Okay, we want the dog to start to associate the word sleep with the behavior. However, the dog needs to understand the behavior first. So when people sit and look at their dog and say sit and yell at their dog, sit, the dog doesn't speak English, so it doesn't know what you're saying. All you're doing is confusing it. You're adding more stimulation to this dog's brain than it needs. It doesn't need to hear words. You notice I didn't say anything when I was really working with Mavis other than kind of guiding her through, like, no, that's not it, get off me, that's not, you're too close, positional stuff more. I wasn't like telling her, put your head down, right? Because she doesn't understand English. She won't understand what I'm saying. All I'm going to do is upset her or confuse her. So what we want to do is we want to start to associate the word sleep with the behavior. Now, we want the dog to be giving us that behavior repetitively. It wants to be something where she's looking at you, you look away from her, you look at her, and you wait, she puts her head down, click, you give her the treat. Now, you know she's understanding it. Now, you know she's saying, look at me, I'll do this, you give me the food. So when you look away, and you know she's going to do it, you know she's going to repeat it every time you look at her, she's going to give you that, she's going to throw it to you so you can give her the treat. You're going to look away, and you're going to say, sleep, right as she's dropping her head on the floor. Okay, and then click, give her the treat. What she's going to do is she's going to start to associate the word sleep with the behavior, put your head down, right? So each time you do that, now it's called chaining. You're chaining this word to this behavior. The idea being that at some point you won't have to look away at all. The reason I look away is because you're giving your dog a chance to stop doing it. Because if they're just throwing a behavior at you, like you kind of saw her doing, just like putting her head down, smearing her face on the floor. What I'm looking for is a really like calm, like, that'd be great. Okay, that's what I want. Now she's just like going like this, right? By looking away, I'm not rewarding her for the time she's giving it to me because I'm not looking at her. I'm not asking for it yet. So once the cue is given, now the dog understands, it eventually understands that when the cue is given, that's when you do it. Throwing it at me all the time isn't going to get you the reward every time, okay? At the beginning, as much as I can keep my treats going, and, you saw her put her head down plenty of times that I didn't click at all because I just can't break up the treats fast enough and give them to her fast enough. It's all good and great, but I'm just one person with two little hands. So, well, two big hands. So, by looking away, I'm saying, right now I'm not looking at you, so any behavior you're doing is not going to get rewarded or disciplined. I'm not focused on you. Now I'm looking at you. Now I want you to do the behavior, okay? When she does it repetitively, now I give the cue right before sleep. And she may go, what? And look at me and just stare at me for a second. And then when she puts her head down, I'll click. Okay, don't worry about it. If it takes them a second and they go, excuse me, what did you say? I'm sorry, I missed that. Just sit there and wait it out, okay? They're going to put their head down because it's been repetitively rewarded, okay? Eventually you're going to hook that word, sleep, or whatever word you choose, to that behavior, and now you're going to have a dog that understands the word means put your head down. So once you have it going good in your living room or your kitchen or your bedroom, whatever you are, Okay, then you're going to take it into another part of the house and practice there. Okay, and it's going to take the dog a few seconds, kind of rolling it up to get the idea that, oh, we're doing this game again. Okay, then you're going to want to take it out in the car, maybe, where, you know, calm place where no one's looking, just parked in a parking lot somewhere, and the dog's in the back seat. See if you can get him to do it then. Now, maybe take him into a park and lay him on some concrete or something where they're not sniffing around in the grass. And then in a store, if your dog's already public access worthy, into a store where you can get him to do it on the carpet in a mall or something. You're gonna have to like broaden the dog's horizons, generalize this trick into other situations, but eventually your dog's gonna understand that the cue, say sleep, means put your head down, and eventually as you build duration, it means put your head down and stay that way until I let you up, or just relax, you know, go to sleep, whatever. Okay. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to give me a thumbs up, that would be great. Better yet, why don't you subscribe to my channel? Because I'm loving to spread this learning adventure that I've been on with Mavis, with everybody else out there who has service dogs or just interested in training dogs. I think it's really great, some of the feedback that I've gotten, and it makes me happy. So be part of my happiness. Until next time, bye.